What's up, everyone? It's Michael from the Nation 80 podcast. Before we get into it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can keep up with what Rodney and I are posting, and smash the like button to support the channel for future content. Alright, let's get into it. Let's get some news out of the way first. If you haven't downloaded it already, Steam has released a new software update for their OS system, which mainly includes fixes for their offline mode. More specifically, they fixed the issue where rebooting while in Steam offline mode would cause games to fail to launch. Also, they fixed the cloud sync error notification popping up when offline. And finally, they disabled the Steam offline button when not connected to the internet, as trying to do this currently gets the Steam Deck into a bad state. At On Deck from Valve on Twitter released the following statement. Hi all, just a quick note that starting with this morning's batch of Steam Deck order invites, we've increased the number of emails we're sending out again. We're excited to get more of these into your hands. Order emails are sent out on Monday and Thursday morning. Alright, so this is great news for people who are in the third and fourth quarter. Looks like you're definitely getting your Steam Deck soon, and at the very least, or at worst, at the end of the year. And lastly, as Valve likes to do, they have another sale going on right now. It's called QuakeCon, where a lot of the games from the Quakeverse are, I should say the Verse publisher, are on sale for as up to 70% off. So make sure you go check that out. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the games that I'm playing at work while on break. First up, we have The Ascent. Now, The Ascent is a cyberpunk-themed action role-playing game developed by a Swedish indie game studio, Neo Giant, and is published by Curved Digital. This game came out July 29th in 2021. Now, what drew me to this game was that it was a 3D top-down twin-stick shooter. And it's in a cyberpunk-esque universe, a post-apocalyptic universe. And it's fun. It's a fun game. You get customizable characters and skills. It's got some pretty good voice acting. The environment looks great. I mean, there are times where it should be a cutscene and something's happening and there's explosions everywhere, and not something that I expected out of this type of game, but it looks really great. It's also verified on the Steam Deck and runs very well. The Ascent is currently on sale for $11.99 and will cost you about 32 gigabytes of space on your Steam Deck. You could also pick it up for $18.07 with the DLC combo. This sale ends September 1st, so if you check it out on Steam, I would suggest you go get it soon. Okay, so next up we have Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now this game came out in November 15th of 2011. It's a crossover fighting game developed by Capcom in collaboration with Aiding, and is an updated version of the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds. Now, I'm not usually into fighting games, but this one's pretty fun for me because it's got Street Fighter characters, which is how I got into fighting games in the first place, and then of course Marvel characters, which I love. Now, while I haven't figured out all the moves, it does have a lot of fast-paced action and combos that are really exciting to see once you pull them off. On the Steam Deck, it does have an unknown compatibility, but I've played it so far and it works great. Now, with that said, I cannot tell you about the online versus mode. I haven't done any of the online stuff. I can barely beat the CPU. This game's currently $24.99 on Steam and will cost you about 4 gigabytes of space. Alright, so next we have Ion Fury, which initially released in August 15th, 2019. Now, technically, Ion Fury is a cyberpunk first-person shooter video game developed by Voidpoint and published by 3D Realms. If you're familiar with 3D Realms, then you're familiar with Duke Nukem 3D. This is essentially an evolution of that game, and it is fantastic. It's got fast, dude-like action, witty one-liners, and excellent level design. This has the playable rating on the Steam Deck, but from what I've seen, it works great as well. Ion Fury is $24.99 right now and will cost you about 100 megabytes on your Steam Deck. Alright, next up we have Batman Arkham Knight. This came out in June 23rd of 2015. Batman is an action-adventure game developed by Rocksteady Studios and published by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. Now, this is the third game in that series of the Arkham series, and while I haven't finished this game yet, I'm still kind of 50-50 on whether or not it's the best one in the series. Batman Arkham City to me was my personal favorite, but we'll see what happens when I finish this game. Now, as I said, it is the third entry into the series and the first time it introduces the use of the Batmobile / Bat Tank. As always, you have a vast cityscape with plenty of enemies to beat up. It looks great on the deck even though it says it's not supported. And one of the other cool things about this game is that you get to play as other characters such as Batgirl. Batman Arkham Knight is $19.99 currently on Steam and will cost you about 55 gigabytes of storage. Okay, last but not least, we have SpiderMan Remastered for Steam. Now, originally this was a PlayStation exclusive game, but as we're starting to see lately, PlayStation is starting to bring their games over to the PC, which is always good news for us. SpiderMan Remastered is released by PlayStation PC LLC, and of course features Peter Parker and an original action story. Now, this is a verified game on the Steam Deck, and man, it looks and plays great. I love the fact that you could explore New York City and, of course, just like Batman, have plenty of enemies to beat up with some differences. One of the facts being that you can get involved in a car chase with the police and take down bad guys. And much like Batman, you get to unlock new skills, gadgets, gear, and suits for this game. Now, one of the things I've noticed is that, unlike Batman, the story is excellent. Not to say that the Batman stories aren't, but this one is clearly very well written, very well polished, with great actors in there. And then you also get to play as some of the other characters, including Miles Morales. But not only that, the boss battles are, for lack of better words, their boss. Now, Spider-Man did just come out. It's sitting on Steam for $59.99. If you've already played it, you might want to just wait for the sale. But if you haven't, like me, go ahead and pick this game up. It is awesome. It will cost you about 75 gigabytes of storage on your Steam Deck. Okay, so that'll do it for today's episode. Be sure to look out for the Nation 80 podcast, episode 19, coming at you pretty soon. My name's Michael, and as always, keep your imagination up, and we'll check you out in the next one.